is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, where I blog about all my thoughts and lessons and learnings and experiences from and about the tarot cards. I also review tarot decks and books, and I make videos about tarot via this YouTube channel. So, if I also do tarot card readings, and I mentor tarot students wanting to learn tarot from scratch or just want to practice readings. So any of this, if any of this interests you, there are links in the description box that accompanies this video. If you want to continue seeing such awesome content, I would really like it if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Of course, watch the video first if you want. I mean, of course you should watch it before you do that, but I'm just saying. Anyway, I guess you may have guessed by now, I'm gonna be reviewing this very awesome deck called the Santa Muerte tarot deck. It is created by the very awesome Fabio Listrani. It says so right here at the bottom of the box. This box I got from Amazon. So if you want to buy the deck from Amazon, just like I did, again I'll post the affiliate link in the description box below. If you buy using that link, I get a little bit of commission, and it's a bit of help. I collect all that money and I end up buying more decks so I can make more reviews. So that's pretty much it. Anyway, so to come to this particular deck, as you know, my theme for this month is shadow or shadow work. And that was I last year when on Instagram, people do a lot of stuff around this. And last year, actually, when I was going through the various posts that people made about shadow work, I actually saw this deck and I was very fascinated by it. I mean, I have Fabio Listrani's other deck, the Night Sun Tarot, and that one kind of drew me in. Obviously, I'll put a link in the corner up here so you can go watch that video if you want. But I mean, so did this deck. I was like, oh, it's the same guy who made this particular deck too, and I'm like, I was fascinated. Again, it's a very different kind of imagery. It says Book of the Dead over here, so it's kind of very much in keeping with the theme of Halloween and stuff. So that's why I chose this deck. If you're following me on social media, you'll probably see this month I'm doing my card a day readings with this deck. So before we kind of get into this deck, I just want to touch upon who is Santa Muerte, because for me that was something very interesting. Santa Muerte, according to Wikipedia, and I'm reading off my computer right in front of me here, is a female deity or folk saint in Mexican and Mexican American folk Catholicism, a personification of death. She is associated with healing, protection, and safe delivery to the afterlife by her devotees. Right? And of course, there's this, despite condemnation by the Catholic Church, her religion has become increasingly prominent since the 2000s. Right? Now, it kind of originates, the Wikipedia entry continues to say, since the pre-Columbian era, Mexican culture has maintained a certain reverence towards death, which can be seen in the widespread commemoration of the Day of the Dead. And the elements of that celebration include the use of skeletons to remind people of their mortality. The worship of Santa Muerte is condemned by the Catholic Church in Mexico as invalid, but it is increasingly firmly entrenched in Mexican culture. Santa Muerte generally appears as a skeletal female figure clad in a long robe and holding one or more objects, usually a scythe and a globe. And there's a whole lot of information here. So I mean, Wikipedia is a good place to start, but if you kind of just Google it, I'm sure you'll find a lot of information. So the reason I read all of that is to kind of explain, if you see the image on the box, you see a lady, a skeleton lady, Why she's a lady? Because she's shown as pregnant. She has that scythe. There is the cradle here, which is very interesting. And she's wearing a robe and everything, and she's praying. Yeah, can you see that? Now the thing is, it's very interesting to see this kind of imagery. It's a very different kind of imagery. If you haven't been exposed to it, which honestly I wasn't. So for me, it was something very fascinating to pick up and go through. All right. So when you look at the imagery in this deck, it will be pretty fascinating and interesting, I'm sure. So let's begin. It's a very nice sturdy box. Again, it's printed by none other than Los Carapio. So, but they have done a really fantastic job. This box is lush, if I can say that word. It's amazing. It's soft to feel, but made out of very sturdy. Can you see this? Thick cardboard. So you can totally store your deck in here in this box like this. It can place it upright, whatever on the side. It's a great box to so it won't get spoiled. And then ta-da, you have the box. And okay, so there's the book, and here's your deck. Okay, just quickly go through the book, because like any Los Carapio book, of course, that accompanies their tarot deck, you have English, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, is that Russian, and Chinese maybe, or Japanese, can't make out. So it's all these languages in here. Again, compared to most LWBs, this one is also pretty nicely done. Very soft, glossy, thick cover. And even the pages are very soft and shiny, glossy. So they've really outdone themselves here. It's really good. I mean, the book is something you might want to just, hold on to. It's brilliant. It's and of course the write-up, right? First off, you get to know a little bit more about the deck creator, artist Fabio Listrani, who is amazing. And I believe he is also on Facebook. I will put the link in the description box. You can check him out. He's really good. His work is awesome. I mean, the decks and all. And I believe the Santa Muerte Oracle deck is also something that will be out soon, or probably will be out by the time this video is out. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's in the works. It's definitely going to be out. Yeah. So check, it's worth looking at. And of course the Knights and Tarot, which I have and I've reviewed, so you can check that out. So there's a lot of information here about him. And then of course about the Santa Muerte Tarot deck. So we are introduced to the concept of how death becomes healing, and the concept of Santa Muerte herself. And see, the motive is that death, as it appears to us due to erroneous mental constructs, is not the opposite of life, but rather an integral part of it. It is the opposite, perhaps, of birth. Oh, I'm sorry, I've been holding the book away. Something that is connected to us from the moment we are conceived, when we begin to take shape and become part of the material world. So there's a lot of interesting stuff which kind of is a very, very, mind-bending, but shifting perspective. Not mind-bending, really, shift of perspective. It's very interesting to read. And then, of course, we get into the card meanings, the major arcana. So there is a bit of a write-up here about the card, as you can see. And this is this very cute, the advice of the dead. So, so that's how it continues. So there are no keywords. I don't know if there is any information. Let me check. I don't think it provides much about upright reverse. So, but that's okay. I mean, if you're going to be, this is not a beginner's deck. I will tell you that. So if you're going to be working with this deck, you better have some idea what you're doing in terms of tarot. And so, and then of course some idea of what Santa Muerte is all about, and then you work with this deck. It's pretty interesting. So we get with go ahead with the meanings of the major cards. And okay, I have all my tags here. And then when the minor arcana begins, again, it's very interesting how they have used colors. Let me, I'm just going to say over here, the azure blue color identifies these cards. These are your cups cards, right? And the heart and the thoracic cage are the parts of the body that correspond with the suit. I mean, there is a color association with each suit. You'll notice that when we start looking at the cards themselves. So we have first all about the cups. Again, card meanings and advice of the dead. I don't think it talks much about the reverse side, but that's okay. We can work that out. And so on. Then we have pentacles, which is green. As you can see, I've used corresponding color tags for it. Wands, which is red. And air, which is yellow. I like that color connections, so it's good. I'm good with that. And then, oh yeah, there is a spread. I don't know. I hope I'm saying it right. Ouija, the Oracle of the Dead. And so there's a spread that you can use. They've explained how it works. And then, card of the day. How you can use this for the card of the day reading. Very nice. And then, of course, we get into the other different languages. So this is your book, which comes with this particular deck, which is really worth the read. Spend some time, do your research. I will totally recommend it. And here we go. Let's begin with this is what you came here for, right? The flip through. Okay, so this is what I like to call the cover card, or the first card, which you put away. And is there a bottom card? Oh, there is. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, there's one cover card, and this one's it. And of course, I would like to draw your attention to the back of the card. You see these are called the sugar skulls, I believe. So have a look. Pretty sugar skulls and flowers, and it is totally reversible, which is the best part, which I love. Of course, you know that I love it when the card backs are reversible, so you don't know if the card is upright or reversed when you shuffle it and you're drawing it, so which is great. So yay. Okay, then let's begin. Fool. Fool's bag, butterfly, very nice. Very nice. Magician. Now if you see all these cards, all the cards of this deck actually have a very interesting border here. Right? The border is kind of like at the bottom of the deck. And then we have the image here, which is very, very interesting because all the cards in this deck have that kind of layout. And if you see the numbers, actually, if you hold the cards on the side, either this side or this side, that's when you will see, okay, which number is, oh, sorry, this way or this way is where, you can see the numbers. If you read from the side, you'll know what they are. Because, between 6 and 9, that can be a little bit confusing. See, now this is 6. This is the way you read it. You say, oh, this is a 6, that kind of thing. Okay, that might cause a little bit of confusion at first, but it's pretty straightforward to get used to. And once you get used to it, it's just a matter of figuring it out, and you're like, oh, okay, all right. So, magician. See, again, he has a wand. Where's the sword? There's cups. All this very, very intricate stuff on his table there. High priestess. Gosh. Isn't she? What's this? interesting. Look at her. She's holding a key. Really, you need to spend some time with this imagery. You really need to get into it, if you ask me. It takes a while. Do your research, always. Empress. Emperor. So basically, all the characters, all the people in this particular deck will be these skeletons. That's kind of the theme here, but it's very lush. Like with death, usually if people say, oh, everything is over, but no, the imagery and everything is so lush, so full of life. I think that paradox in itself is something that is a paradox of our own understanding. So this deck, I believe, will help you change the way you look at death, is what I'm kind of going for. Because Hierophant, see, they're doing a Ouija board reading. Because the way I've experienced it and seen it in the world around me, people use the fear of death to control you, via religion. Most of the time they'll be like, oh, when you die, what will happen to your soul? And so, why do you have to scare people in doing good things? That's always been my question, Most religions are like, oh, when you die, what will happen to your soul? So better you do something good when you're alive, so that way you'll go to heaven or whatever. And I'm like, you don't need to scare people for that. You can just tell people to be good. But I guess when you're looking at people on a mass scale, that often may not have worked. So maybe that's why they decided to scare people. I don't know. It's just a thought I'm putting out there. This is very interesting. There's the key and there's the heart that has a lock in it. Very nice. It's a very interesting play on the Rider-Waite imagery. So I don't know. I don't want to talk much about it. I want you to just drench yourself in the imagery and go buy this deck and just spend time with it, play with it. Chariot. This is the procession. Strength. This is dragon. Hermit. Ooh, in the coffin and all. I believe now, looking at the coffin. Sorry, excuse me. Looking at the coffin, I believe there is a very special edition of this deck that the box is shaped like a coffin. It's pretty expensive, that one, but if you're really into that sort of thing, you could maybe look for it and buy that. Wheel of Fortune. God, I love this. Look at this, right? Upright, there's this one, the white robe. And reverse, there's this one with the black robe. Nice. Justice. Pair of scales and a scythe. Instead of this sword. Hanged Man. Death. So this is the image from the cover, from the box. Sorry. She's Santa Muerte. I see. Nice. Temperance. The devil. tower. See, this is a very interesting interpretation of the tower. Most towers, you have buildings collapsing, but this tower, check it out. It's kind of a very intricate a set of, I don't know, stairs and going here, going there. There's massive confusion here. This tower is pretty interesting. Very, very interesting. Different, but I like it. The star. The moon. One of the very few moon cards that I totally appreciate. I love this. Right? Because from the back, she looks like a regular person, but in the pool, we see her reflection is that of a skeleton, isn't that? And the moon itself is drawn as a reflection in the pool of water, which is brilliant. Just brilliant. Amazing. The sun. All those sunflowers, gosh. Judgment. The world. So now let's begin with the suit of wands. So as we saw in the book, the color for wands is red, right? So you'll see that is a very prominent color in most of the wands cards. Two of wands. You see two pistols. Three of wands. Check out this bird. Is that a raven carrying skeleton raven actually with a message? Does that go or what? Five of wands. Matches. Six of wands. Seven of wands. This is a very interesting seven of wands. Very different from your Rider-Waite really. But if you look at this image long enough, it kind of gives you that feel. Eight of wands. These are tiny skeletons, right? This is interesting. And then we have a flower growing right out of the crown part of the skull. Nine of wands. Oops, sorry. 10 of wands. And I believe all the 10s will show a butterfly, right? Because butterflies actually are, or what, is that moths? I don't know. It doesn't say here. Wait. Maybe it will say something that, because in the deck the sequence is a little different, so okay, it doesn't say whether it's a butterfly or a moth. I'm going to say butterfly because butterflies are creatures or that symbolize transformation, evolution, and so on. So technically, if you look from a numerology point of view, I believe the number sequence is from 0 to 9. So 10 actually is a step into the new cycle. It's a beginning. It's a 1 and 0. So that's a new cycle. So it's kind of resetting. It's that space there like that. And of course you have the Page of Wands. Cute, yeah. Knight of Wands. Skeleton horse. Queen of Wands. I like her, of course. And the King of Wands. Then we come to the Suit of Swords, and the primary color here is yellow. So you'll see a lot of that in each card imagery. It's more prominently yellow. That's the Ace of Swords, by the way. Two of Swords. Who loves this? Just raise your hand, yeah. Who loves this imagery using a pair of scissors to convey Two of Swords? I mean, come on, this is just brilliant. I love it. Love it. Three of Swords. God. If this card doesn't speak betrayal to you, seriously, I don't know what will. Four of Swords. Their names and stuff. Five of Swords. Six of Swords. Gosh. Seven of Swords. Hope. Reflection. Those are the words inside of the coffin. Very interesting that these are the words you see here for the Seven of Swords, which is traditionally called the cheater card, but very interesting. Sorry. Eight of Swords. Nah. It's a very different Eight of Swords, yeah? Nine of Swords. See, 10 again. Is this a butterfly or a moth? I don't know, but it's definitely a figure that kind of represents that kind of evolution and transition, right? Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. And King of Swords. Next up is the Suit of Cups. And the color for the Suit of Cups is blue, so we're going to see a very heavy use of that color for these cards. Ace of Cups. I believe this is a dragonfly, isn't that? No. Two of Cups. Check it out. Now the skull part has become a cup here, and he's pouring from here to here. It's very nice, isn't it? Very, very beautiful. Three of Cups. Four of Cups. Five of Cups. I like how there is a labyrinth there instead of anything else. The imagery, like when emotions can confuse you, kind of a thing. Six of Cups. Seven of Cups. Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups. It's on a boat. Nice. So we get a blue colored butterfly moth thing. Beautiful. Page of Cups. Knight of Cups. And the Kings. And finally, we come to the Suit of Pentacles. The color for that is very prominently green. So here we go. Ace of Pentacles. Is that a grasshopper? It's very interesting. Let me go back to all the 4 aces. Before this, all the 2 aces. So, okay. The Ace of Wands had this tree sprouting out of it. And the Ace of Swords had a sword in there. Very nicely done. And the Ace of Cups obviously had the, the skull became the cup. There's a dragonfly, and I guess the Ace of Pentacles has a grasshopper on it. It's got all the green leaves on top of it, around it and everything. Nice. 2 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles. Oh wait, so the seeds are these skeletons. Check it out. He's watering them and they're growing. Isn't that interesting? 4 of Pentacles. This is a bank. Very nice. And it kind of becomes like a child's play thing. Yeah, it's interesting. 5 of Pentacles. What do you think this interpretation of this card is? Yeah, pretty impressive. I'm just sorry, excuse me. This is something that really asks you to delve right into the story. So I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think of this card? What does the 5 Pentacles tell you here? What is the story here? What is the story you can think of? Or what's the story that springs to mind? 6 of Pentacles. 9. 6 o'clock it is, isn't it? 7 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. And again the 10 of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles. Okay, so this is your Santa Muerte tarot deck by the very awesome Fabio Listrani. Let me see if I can put all 3 in a frame. Huh, not bad, huh? This is your very awesome Santa Muerte tarot deck by the very awesome Fabio Listrani. Totally go get this deck. I'm telling you, I mean, I haven't even started to get into the imagery, go deep with it. I've played with it. I've done my card a day readings with it for this month. I'm doing it, but what I'm trying to say is there's so much more. There's just like what we saw in the flip through was just like very, very much on the surface. There's so much more. I'm looking forward actually to delving deep into the imagery, into the history, into the myth, into the symbolism. There is just way too much to study in this deck, if you ask me honestly. But what I do know is that I will come away learning a lot about a different culture that is, unknown to me up until now. I will learn about some myths, some different, ideas, some thought processes, and that is also actually one of the beautiful things about tarot I like and I love actually, is because of this beautiful imagery, you are transported in a journey of learning that is fun and interesting, and you get to know so many things about so many diverse things which you otherwise you would not have learned, otherwise you would not have even looked at, right? So I think that is, for me, it is the best part about tarot, is that because I got to learn so many things about different cultures, ideologies, thought processes, myths, everything, the whole thing. And this book is, this deck, or rather Book of Dead actually, is beautifully poised to take me on yet another journey, which I am so looking forward to. So once again, thank you so much for watching this video with me. I hope you genuinely liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up so I know that you liked it. And if you want more, if you like these kind of videos and you want to go through my the videos that I've uploaded so far, you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel, and share my channel with your friends who are also into all this. Ask them to subscribe. I put out videos, I believe, every Thursday, and I like to share my knowledge, my wisdom, and of course lovely decks, books, everything, whatever my tarot stuff, I'm more than happy to share. So again, please follow me also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you are into getting card a day readings, or look out for the monthly prediction video that I do at the end of each month for the following month, where I use my tarot and Lenormand cards to do a kind of a prediction thing for the following month. So I do a bunch of things. It's all about tarot. My life is all about tarot. So yeah, like, share, subscribe. Okay, I will see you again next week with yet another video. That one is going to be a very, very, I would say, a much requested video. It's all about reversed cards. Interested? Stay tuned. Anyhow, I will see you again soon. Until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye for now. Bye.